Now to today's health, getting the guy in your life to go to the doctor. Psychiatrist Gail Saltz is a Today and Women's Day magazine contributor, and Dr. Tanya Benenson is an internist and also NBC Universal's chief medical officer, and she's got some important advice on how to keep our men healthy. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
24%, pretty strong number. Research showing that men are 24% less likely to go to a doctor in the past year than women. Gail, what explains this behavior?
It is a feeling amongst men, and there's been a number of studies and polls looking at this, that real men don't. Real men don't complain. They don't experience pain. They don't want to dig in because, partially it's denial. It's the feeling that if I go, if it's bad news, I don't want to know about it. If it's good news, it was a waste of time. And I don't want to be poked and prodded, and because this doesn't feel manly to me.
Right. I can hear that, Dr. Benenson. Is it your sense that that we know that men? One of the reasons why men don't live as long as women is because they don't go to the doctors. Is there any evidence to prove that?
Well, there certainly is some suggestion. I mean, prevention and early detection is key. We know that. And a lot of these illnesses that end up killing us, we don't feel until it's too late. So if they don't go to the doctor, they're not going to know they have the problem, and that waiting could be fatal.
Okay, so we want to keep them around. Well, presumably we want to keep them around for as long as possible. So if that's true, then how do we get this thing started? I mean, you actually suggest that we make the appointments for them.
Yes.
Is that our job? Okay, let me stop for a second. Is that our job, really?
You know what?
Do we have to get to that?
You can evaluate that and say, does this feel fair to me? Or you can decide it's more important that this man you love, whoever he may be, your husband, your brother, your father, you want to stick around. So I would say, should you pick up his underwear? No. But when we're talking about going to the doctor once a year, you need to stop that. When you're talking about going to the doctor, then something like that. If you had something come up medically, right, you might ask your spouse to go with you. I would say, if he's not doing it, make the appointment, go with him. And I'll tell you the other reason to go with him. When someone's nervous, they don't hear what the doctor's saying in that moment. So another set of ears, so that if he says, you need to follow up with this and that, someone else that can bounce it off of and will remember, even though you were nervous, is helpful. The other big key is honestly telling them that it's not just for them.
Right.
It's for the family.
Right.
That turns out to make a difference for the men, the manly man.
And you agree with this idea of having a conversation. What would be the conversation you would encourage us to have with
I see this in the office. So motivation does work. I mean, the top two reasons they end up in my office is my wife told me to get this checked, or, you know what, I woke up and realized my family needs me and I want to see my kids grow up. So it really does help motivate them. I mean, there are a lot of other ways to motivate them.
Psychologically, what you're doing is taking the onus off their manly man issue and saying, okay, it's not, you are a manly man. But in being a manly man and a protector and a provider and a lover and all of these things, you need to take care of yourself to be there for us.
And that actually makes making the appointment is actually helpful. It sounds like you're taking that one step too far, but if you just find the doctor, make the appointment, present it, even go with them, stay for the first couple minutes, make it easy.
Right.
It's not just
and
easy
I think what you're also
yeah.
saying is you want to give them a reason, this great meeting in terms of how it's a benefit to the family. I think that's a very good point. The other idea you suggest is to basically lead by example. I mean, when a wife goes in, and in fact, my husband's always worrying about, is something wrong with you? Why are all these medical pills?
Right.
Honey, I'm doing the stuff I'm supposed to be doing. How come you're not doing it? And that's the conversation I have with him.
Because, if you just nag them and you don't do anything, you're not doing it yourself. You need to be a good role model.
Right.
You have to do it yourself.
Not that he's going to model after you, but it's going to be a situation where you're a partnership. Right. You can't speak
it's
the
the
song
family message.
Right.
The family message is we take care of ourselves because we all want to stick around for each other and have a good quality of, not just live, but have good quality of life.
It's sometimes hard to bring up, though. You sound like a nag. So
I think we are going to sound like nags. I think we just have to kind of accept that.
Use real life examples.
We nag because we love.
That's right.
Dr. Tanya Benenson and Dr. Gail Saltz, thank you both.